Hello? 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 Why did it say 4 days? Let me see. Okay, so this is my first live. Let's see how it goes. So right now I'm about to explain why I'm bearish on gold. For now. You know, take everything at your own discretion as well. Sorry, let me make sure that everything's okay. So I'm gonna quickly go through this chart and analyze it and tell you why I think the things that I do. So let me just remove all these drawings. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to start from the daily. Basically, this is the way that I trade. So I'm not going to start from all the way down here, but I'll start from here, right? Actually, I'll start from here. Cool. So when we're looking at this here, this is a representation of buy pressure. The last time price bought, this is what happened. This is a representation of sell pressure. Now, what you see with this representation of sell pressure, let me change the color actually. What you see with this representation of sell pressure before price flips and starts buying again is that that is greater than this. The sell pressure, the last time sellers tried to sell, was less. Over here, it's increasing. So now if I take this and so at this point in time, if you ask anyone that knew me, I was saying, okay, cool, I'm expecting gold to get to about 6,000. There's many people that can vouch for me saying that, and I would happily admit that that's not happened. But what I do is, let me just put this here properly. I use the Fibonacci. So whenever I put any of these zones here like this here, I take the assumption that price can flip at any of these Fibonacci zones. Price can flip at any of these Fibonacci zones. So as you can see over here, price hit the 0.5 of this Fibonacci zone. So let me just mark this here actually as Fib 0.5. So it hit the 0.5, the 50% of this Fibonacci zone and decided to flip. So I can respect the idea of price flipping from the 0.5 zone because everybody, I'm pretty sure almost everybody that trades should know that traders typically look at the 0.5 zone on the Fibonacci, the 50%. So now I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this move here, yeah? And now that I've recognized that price has flipped, what do I do then? I then take this, and as you can see, once again, sell pressure has increased. So now that we're seeing that buy pressure is decreasing and sell pressure is increasing, what do? We become bearish because sell pressure is increasing whilst buy pressure is decreasing. Once again, we take this. This is the most previous buys here. Look at this. We see that buy pressure is once again decreasing, or has decreased. The thing is, we will absolutely and completely confirm this when price comes and breaks these lows, right? But at the moment, we're allowed to assume on the basis of internal structure that price is going to flip. That's why I've been short as well. So let's see as well if this would have hit a Fibonacci zone. Yeah, so this time it respected the 0.786 of this Fibonacci zone. So I'm gonna put that there just so that you guys remember, because if not, I don't think people would remember. 0.786. Let me quickly put fib 0.786. Right, let me get rid of this. Then after we have price here, price, I believe this is the highs of it, to be honest. And so if I'm looking at this now, what I'd be proposing is that because we're seeing sell pressure increase and buy pressure decrease again, we've seen buy pressure decrease again, unless it turns back up. If price comes all the way down here and past these lows here, it's likely to get either around, so I would say between 3,850 to about 3,500. The reason why I say that is because we're seeing sell pressure increase. So this is the first element of the analysis in regard to trading this strategy. I didn't go over the weekly and the monthly because it will take forever. But now another thing that's very important is structure. So at this point of time, you can see that if we're looking at this, we would be bullish. Why? Because we get a firm break of the highs. It's minor, very minor retracement, but obviously if you go on the lower time frames, that might look like a bigger rejection. And we see that price continues here. So if we were to take away here, at this point, it's fair for anybody to assume bullish, right? But now, when price gets here, like in this point of time, when we see price gets here and it rejects these highs here, and we see that it's about to respect these highs when it's about to flip. So, you know, you could see internally that price is flipping, right? But I'll explain them kind of things when I go on lower time frames. But regardless, when you see that price is respecting these highs, you can take the assumption that price is going to continue down, because when you get candles like this that are not willing to push through zones that have high supply or demand, you can ultimately assume that it's going to go in the opposite direction, right? When you see this, you're like, okay, cool, it's going to respect these highs. So I wouldn't assume bearish automatically, because there's always the potential of consolidation. And even with the way price looks right now, there's still the potential of consolidation, because if it respects these lows, bounces off these lows and goes up, you know, there's so many possible outcomes in the market that it's good to have a narrative, but it's never good to marry your bias completely, because it could result in you losing. Right? Okay, cool. So on this higher time frame now, we see the break of the lows. These lows here. So me, I'm body of the candle, not the wick. Yes, this wick over here closes below this, but I don't regard that. I regard the body of the candle closing under. So I would say this low was respected on this candle, but because the body came and held under here, I would say, okay, cool, this low is now broken. The reason why that's important is because when you're in here, when you're inside this zone, you're allowed to recognize that, okay, cool, price might be retracing and going back up right now, but I'm not overall bullish on the market. I see that price is going up, but I'm expecting for price to flip. I'm expecting for price to turn. So you can be very, 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 vigilant or careful when it comes to zones like this, because you know that on the daily time frame you're expecting that. So you can be looking or get ready for reversals. What you could have done as well is been like, okay, cool, because on the daily I'm bearish, I'm not going to be looking for any buys at all. I'm gonna wait until I see an absolutely an internal change over here for it to continue going down before I trade. So in regard to this is what we see. We would need to see price break here with the body for this idea to be confirmed. Price would have to break this low here, and the body would have to hold below this low for us to confirm the idea of price continuing here. We do see a zone, a place where buyers respect price. So when price does come here, I wouldn't expect for it to just go through straight away. I would expect a response, because there is, a little bit of whatever here. So, but yeah, that's a daily. That's a daily for me right now. After I do the daily, you see, yeah, after I do the daily, sorry, I was looking at my messages. I don't really want to go into market structure in it. I feel like, look, if you want to know anything from me, I would say it's important to go learn the basics and the fundamentals, go understand price action and all that before you come and watch me, because I'm not about to sit here and explain higher highs and lower lows, like, unless you're my guy, you feel me? Like that, I can do that with people separately, but not right now. So I think anybody who's probably looked at trading and spent at least 6 months to a year on it could see that higher highs and lower lows are being broken. But something that I do usually do, I don't normally display it on all charts because it does get messy, is that I will do the same thing in regard to buy pressure and sell pressure on the 4-hour time frame as well. So I would, for example, I'm just going to show you this, right? You see this is the most previous sell right here. Let me put this magnum. This is the most previous sell. Now look at this sell in comparison to the last one. Because it fails to even get halfway, it implies that, look, price probably wants to go up, especially with buy pressure increasing. You see sell pressure decreasing as well. So what could you do? You take the last sign of buy pressure and place it there. And you see that price perfectly fulfills this buy pressure that we're talking about. So, for example, if you were on the 4-hour at these times and you've seen this and you've recognized that price is going to flip inside here, you could have took a long using this previous buy pressure, in which price literally got to to the T, the exact zone. But yeah, that's what I would do on the 4 hour, but I'm not gonna do all of that. I'm not gonna just do it on a whole lot of different time frames. So let's get to entry. Let's get to entry. So we'll do all of that. So right now, this would be displaying bearish, basically. So this is the most important thing, yeah. There's two market conditions. Markets are either going bullish or bearish, or they either consolidate. Bullish and bearish markets are the same. You look at bullish and bearish markets, the candles are moving, price is amazing, X, Y, and Z. It creates an opportunity for people to make a lot of money. But when price is consolidating like this is where people normally lose out, you know. And this is what it is. This is all you have to do, in my opinion. If you do top-down analysis and you enter on a 5 minute, I'm a scalper, so for me, this is how it works anyway. I do top-down, yes. But when the daily or the 4 hour isn't respecting price action, like it's not respecting its behavior, like this is what I'll say, for example. For example, a candle formation like this, yeah, a candle formation like this. If we go into a bullish market, you see that it's most likely gonna go off of this because the market is so bullish that when something like this forms, it will go. Obviously, sometimes in consolidation, it will go as well, but you see how it stops here and da. If I go to, for example, here, this is it in the opposite direction. This is it in the opposite direction. You see how it goes. Yeah, it does retrace a bit, but it continues. You get what I mean? But here, it doesn't do the same thing. You would get a whole day of bearish before it goes back up. So that's the difference. I would say that's the difference. That's the difference between a bearish and bullish market and a consolidating market. So right now, we clearly see that price is respecting where it's saying it's going to go. But even in this period here, we see that it wasn't. But now we do. Why? Because we see this bearish 4 hour candle and we see that the next candles literally respect the idea that was formed from this 4 hour candle. So for me this day, what I do is that, okay, I've been watching that 4 hour candle, seeing how it's come about. So what I do is that the 4 hour is bearish already. All them 4 hours are bearish. So what I'll do is, yo, Echo, give me 2 seconds. But you can stay on the phone 2 seconds. Yeah. So the hourly will be bearish, yeah. The hour is bearish and it's in confluence with the 4 hour. So simple. Then whatever I was just doing on every single time frame, you continue to do this to to understand this is hey, yo, chill out, bro. To understand price behavior, innit? And yeah, you just carry on doing the same thing, and then it will give you an entry. Sorry guys, I rushed this a bit. Yo, Echo. Yeah. You know I'm on YouTube live. Send me the channel. Yeah, I will. I just wanted to see how it works, so let me stop the stream. Oh no. Well, you're thinking of starting YouTube or something? Nah, I was thinking, okay, like I wanna record my strategy. I'm thinking of doing it on TikTok. Yeah, but the thing is, I also wanna. You don't like the publicity that comes with it. Yeah, the thing is, I wanna. Prop firms will start messaging you, trying to give you fake, then you become fake. Lol, prop firm come give me 100k in thumbnail, huh? But nah, what I was saying is that obviously you can go back into it and chop it up and make it into a video, innit? So that's the reason why I was thinking, oh, it's valid. But let me stop this.
Can't lie. This is the biggest scam.
Are they?
My position on
Wait. Let me end the stream so that it's not caught on it.
Spread is so peak.